Hey woke stars, welcome back to Anu Grace Journey. I'm Anu, helping you awaken to your true nature, love, with more grace and ease. How you guys doing? What's up? Look, I wanna just dive into something really quick. Let's become present for a moment and let's look within for some answers. I got some questions for you. All right. On a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how would you rate your joy? On a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate your safety? On a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate your feeling of love? Being loved, being supported. On a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate your freedom? All right, so you've done that. Now, I got another question for you. How would you like a magic pill that you can have that can make you have a 10 for every one of those answers? Would you like that? Great, because you've come to the wrong place. Because I don't have no magic pill. Okay? Only the truth will set you free. And that's what we're going to discuss today. We're going to discuss the truth setting us free. Before we begin, let's just breathe. 3 nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Let's become present. Just become present. Understand that there's nothing to do but this right here, right now. So let's talk about the truth setting us free. So what is the truth? It's not anything that can be explained. It can be pointed towards, which is what a lot of the sacred texts do. A lot of the masters and sages and saints point to the truth, because that's about as far as you're going to get it, because truth is experiential. It's not anything that can be, someone tells you, quote unquote, the truth and boom, you got it. No, you know what? Because no one can talk about the truth. It can only be experienced. I mean, we can talk about it, but it isn't realized until it's experienced. It's this little parable about these group of blind guys that for the first time get acquainted with an elephant, and they're all touching this elephant. They're blind, they're touching this elephant, and each blind person that touches the elephant says what they feel that they're experiencing in an elephant. One guy touches his horns or tusk, whatever they're called, I'm sorry, and he says it's a spear. Somebody else experiences it a different way. You touch the ears, it's a fan. And somebody else sees it a different way, experiences a different way. It is only experiential. Truth is only experiential. And we begin to experience the truth and raise those scales to 10 of our joy, of our love, our freedom, our safety, we start to vibrate at a 10 with those things once we begin experiencing truth for ourselves. And for me, truth is discovering who we are beyond how we've been conditioned, beyond our beliefs, beyond our stories. When we begin to discover who we are beyond that, our highest expression, the truth of who we are, to me, that is experiencing truth. That is knowing truth. And in order to experience truth, we have to be willing to travel through our conditions, our beliefs, and our patterns with sincere compassion. We don't have to like what it is we're going through. We don't have to like the beliefs we hold, the thoughts we hold, the darkness. We don't have to like it, but we do have to travel through it with love and compassion for ourselves in order to fully experience who we are beyond all that. I tell a lot of people that I coach, in order to experience the light of who we are, we've got to travel through the darkness. We have to be able to face our darkness. And not everybody isn't ready for that. Not everybody is ready to stop hiding from what they don't want to look at and see within themselves. And that's okay, because truth will out. No matter what, we will all experience our inner truth. It's just a matter of when we're ready. One of my biggest awakenings occurred in 2016. I'd say it was when I really started to experience the truth of who I am outside of my stories and conditioning and patterns and beliefs. I was in a hospital, and I had just had abdominal surgery. I was in a lot of pain. I didn't have any medication. As you know, alcohol was one of my conditions. I had no alcohol to numb the pain I was in. Okay. No family came to visit me in the hospital, came to sat with me in the hospital. Everybody was busy. I was in that hospital experiencing just the worst physical pain of my life. And, I couldn't do anything but just sit with the pain that I was in. And it got to the point where I stopped judging it, and I just sat in it, because there was nothing I could do to get rid of it. And when I decided to do that, when I just decided to sit in it and just say, okay, here I am. Everything that I've tried isn't working. I'm in this pain. I'm going to sit in it. And when I made that choice, I saw my own right to my pain in all the areas of my life. I saw that I had a right to be in pain. I had a right to feel what I was feeling. I saw a lot of the stories in my life pointing toward my innocence and it not being my fault. I started to experience self-love on a level that I had never experienced before. And from that moment of experiencing that, and I knew what I was experiencing, I felt it in me that I was experiencing a spiritual awakening. From that moment, I have been loving myself into freedom. Okay? Because I begin to experience the world differently. When we start loving ourselves, when we start putting the work in, we begin to experience ourselves differently. We begin to experience the world differently. We see our experiences, everything that occurs, as pointing us deeper into the truth of who we are. But we have to come to a space in ourselves where we've had enough hiding. We've hid it long enough. And now we're willing to put the work in to love ourselves unconditionally through everything, to love ourselves into freedom, to experience the truth of who we are beyond our stories. And in our stories, okay, become more than our stories evolve beyond blame and victimhood. Our stories can now be used to inspire others. There are stories in each and every one of us that can help free somebody. Okay? Trust me. We all have a story. We all have something that we have overcome. But we've got to be willing to travel through it. We have to be willing to face it, to see it as precious, to see it as sacred. And this is when other people begin to feel the sacredness in our stories, see themselves in it, and be able to break free gradually through experiencing the truth of who they are beyond their stories. I pray that this was helpful, and I challenge you to start traveling through your fears. Start traveling through your darkness. Start traveling through your shame, your guilt, your victimhood with an open heart, full of compassion for yourself. Do the work. You're worth it. It's not even work. It's love. And you deserve it. That's what I have for today. I have some cards. Okay. We have the Fool card. The Fool card is about beginnings. It's about innocence. It's about spontaneity. And it's about free spirit. You see, when we start to experience the truth of who we are, when we start to travel through our darkness and experience who we are beyond that, we start to experience our light. Okay. To a lot of people, we might appear as fools because we're just, traveling around in joy, and joy beyond the condition. Doesn't matter what we're in. Okay. We start to experience a free spirit, spontaneity. We make choices from our hearts. We become spontaneous. When we break free, we get to not only experience who we are, but live it out. Live out who we truly are beyond our conditions. When we begin to travel through our darkness, we begin to experience the truth. And we become the fools on our journey. And the fools have the most fun. Okay? They have the most fun. Here we go. Practice. Okay? Okay? Practice. Polish your skills by practicing regularly. Okay? We become masters on our journeys when we start using the tools we've been given to break free. Okay? We can read a bunch of sacred texts. We can, go to 100,000 coaches, okay, looking for a magic pill. But there ain't no magic pill. The magic pill is inside, okay? And we got to be willing to travel through our deepest fears to discover it and begin experiencing our magic pill, because our magic pill is the truth of who we are beyond all of the BS that we tell ourselves. Okay? We got to be willing to embrace our stories with love, compassion. And then we can use our stories to help others, to point others toward their own truths, their inner truths. And finally, a blessing in relationship. A current relationship is reflecting something that is wounded inside you, a wound from long ago, perhaps even from a past life. Look within, find the part of you that is wounded, and send it love. All will heal, and you will be stronger and wiser for it. So, look within. Look at those wounds. Lick those wounds. Nurture those wounds. Love those wounds. Embrace those wounds. Stop judging those wounds. Okay? They mean something. They mean something. They're a part of you. A sacred part of you. Matt Kahn is one of my spiritual teachers I listen to sometimes. And he has this quote that says, we attract what we judge until we stop judging what we attract. I want you to sit with that for a minute. I love you so much. I pray that what I've shared here benefits you to experience the truth of who you are beyond your conditioning by traveling through it with an open heart.